Hello, this is Trevor Cutmore. Really excited. This week's video is about lease options. And this is when I was training for Cashflow-Freedom a little while ago, and Lesley came in the break and she interviewed me about this particular strategy, or tool as I call it, a very powerful tool. Listen, she asked me some great questions and I give you some detailed answers. Look, one of the things with options is that you've got to keep going. So when I was a young man, I always wanted a beautiful wife, and I had to ask a lot of beautiful ladies out, and many of them said no. I have got no idea why, but they said no. But look, if you persist and you never give up, you get there. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please make comments, let me know, send me your questions, and I wish you all the best. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, it's Lesley here and Trevor Cutmore from
Cashflow-Freedom. We're here in Cambridge right now running a training course.
Yes, it's actually the last day of Trevor's lease option training, and I thought we would share something with the public, so that they get a bit of value.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell you a little bit about options. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't do lease options. I do rent to rent. So if I was standing in someone who wanted to do lease options, I would want to ask you, Trevor, for your 5 top tips.
Okay, well look, the first one, a lease option, is a legal agreement that you can create with an owner of a property to come up with a solution to purchase that property in a few years' time. So normally you would exchange contracts and complete in, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 weeks, something like that. However, this time, you're not buying the property, you're getting control of the property with a legal agreement called a purchase lease option or purchase option. That gives you control. The owner of the property cannot stay in the property, or their siblings. They have to move out. Otherwise it comes under sale and rent back. You can't do it. So that's really, really important. So the legal contract allows the people to move on. You get control over the property, and then you can rent it out, you can do it up, and you can sell it and make a profit. So normally a long-term purchase lease option, you would get control, you rent it out, make a profit on the rent, you'd pay the mortgage or give the owner some money each month, and at the end you would have agreed to buy the property in 5 years for 200,000. Hopefully it's gone up and you make an extra 50,000 when you sell.
So I've got a question for you, because you know I love legals.
Yes.
So I'm flipping it over on you because you've got the experience, yeah?
Okay.
Because you've done how many lease options, Trebs?
Somewhere around 70 mark, I should say.
That's loads.
It is.
That's a lot.
It is, quite a lot.
Anyway, so my question is, when you pay for the owner's mortgage,
yes,
do you transfer the money to him, or is it some sort of
That's a great question, all right? So generally what I've done in the past is I have set up a standing order form and paid direct to the bank. Now once it didn't work, and that was with the Royal Bank of Scotland. They wouldn't accept our standing order form to pay the vendor's mortgage. The rest of them, no problem at all. So the thing is, if we are paying that mortgage every month direct into the vendor's bank account, personal bank account, you have no way of knowing if they're paying the mortgage or not. So what we did, we had to think about this a long time ago, but we got the owner of the property to set up a separate bank account purely for the mortgage. So we said, don't put any money in it, we'll put the money in. All we asked for was to have access online that we could see that bank account. So we would pay the money into that bank account 10 days ahead of when it's due, and we'd always pay a little bit more in to start with, and then that would be paid. And so we can both see that it's being paid out, but it's being paid out in the vendor's name, not ours.
That's really clever. So make sure a mortgage is paid, because the worst thing like you would not want to happen is you've been paying the owner the money for the mortgage and it doesn't get paid, and then at the end, there'll be mortgage arrears.
Yes.
Yeah. So it doesn't. The value of that lease option, in terms of the value of the property, would have gone down the drain, right?
Well, yeah, potentially a repossession, and if it went to repossession, that's something that the official receiver would come and look at us and say, look, we see the option. You can either exercise it now. That, if the profit hasn't gone up, that means that you might be trying to buy or sell, and there's not enough in there, and especially if they're in arrears, they're going to make less, and if they've gone into negative equity, then it might not work at all.
And has that happened to anybody you know?
No, it hasn't happened. That hasn't happened to anyone that I know. But what has happened is where I've gone where people are in arrears, and I've actually gone into court quite often. But a court isn't like a courtroom. You go into a private room. You'll have the vendor, who I'll be sitting with, the judge, and then you normally have the bank with their solicitor there. And the judge will always come down on the side of the vendor because they want to help the vendor retain that property or retain that interest. So I come up with a solution. You need to be quite creative and say, look, we will help do this. We will help pay towards some of the arrears, whatever we need to do. It's, you know, it's always bespoke. But we've solved it, and I've stopped repossessions on multiple times to help people. But I think
That's amazing.
It is good. It's really good.
I haven't heard of anybody do that though, actually.
Oh no, I've done it quite a few times. I have.
So let's have that as a second golden nugget. It leads on to this
Okay.
bit, yeah?
Yep.
So how do you get yourself in that position where, because there's a lot of business there, potential lease options for people's properties that are being repossessed?
Yeah, look, before I answer that, I think what's really important is that a lot of people focus just on repossession, and that's where you use options. I mean, I've had an option on unencumbered properties. So it isn't the caveat to say, look, it's just for people in distress, but it's for anyone. You just got to be there at the right time for the right person. However, distressed properties or vendors who are in financial difficulty. Now, I was very fortunate because years ago when I was doing community development, I actually set up a debt counselling service. So
Wow.
when you do that, you start to realise, look, debt isn't a problem about money, it's a problem about the person and with their habits, all right? And also, when someone comes up and you ask them, how much is your debt? It's 25,000. The reality is, I know this from experience, it's probably closer to 45,000. Because what they do is they put their head in the sand, they don't know. So when you're dealing
Wow.
when you're dealing with people, it's not a problem once you know what the problem is. So secured debt, where they're in arrears on the mortgage, yes, we can deal with that. Sometimes the mortgage company allows us to capitalise that. More often they don't because they haven't been paying regularly. But unsecured debt, so let's suppose they've got £30,000 out on loans or credit cards. The way that you sort that out is that you actually handhold them through a process with an organisation that will help put them into a debt management plan. That will, and when you do that, they get a case number. All of the creditors now drop back. They take all the pressure off because now everything's under control. They might even be making token payments of £1 per month on each debt. This is priceless stuff, and this is life-changing. I've seen people many times of that pressure and the stress. It just releases. It will, you know, it goes from because we are the answer to their problems by this solution. It's great.
That's really good. I'm just thinking if I know anybody, that could do with, the contact details of the debt consolidator.
Yeah, we can definitely put my details on.
Trevor's new business card, everyone.
And it's Cashflow-Freedom.
Rah. What other lease option golden nuggets can we give them? Or
Look,
can you give them?
Okay, well look, opportunity is everywhere. So look, if you're watching this video and you're not sure how to do it, you can contact us, either of us, whether it's through the Facebook,
Yes, or our website.
our website, okay?
So it's Cashflow-Freedom with Lesley Tao. It will change to Cashflow-Freedom with Trevor Cutmore and Lesley Tao once we find out how to do it.
At least we're
Technical
honest.
issues. We're honest.
Absolutely. But look, the key thing is that you might find opportunity with friends or family and won't know how to do it. Then you can contact us. You know, especially with options, we can work with you and resolve a lot of things. But with options, you can get control. You can actually, and what we're teaching here is how you can actually get an option and then finance the purchase 100% and finance the development 100%. That's some of the teaching that we're doing here. That is extremely powerful. Now, the other thing, you might be able to add value onto property and sell. So, you know, there's many occasions that I get control of a property. I add the value by bringing my own money in, or you can use investors' money, and there's a way to you can joint venture with builders and not even use any of your own money.
That sounds amazing.
It is, and make a huge profit.
Yes.
So there's so many opportunities out here, and this knowledge is something that equips you on your journey. And look, I don't say that options is a strategy in itself. I think it's an incredibly powerful tool that every investor should learn and have in their bag to pull out at the time.
I think so. I know. I'm lucky because I'm part of the Cashflow family, so I'll just take Trevor along if that option comes up. But we want to say to you guys, you need a Trevor or a Lesley in your team. So if you don't have that in your team, you should come and see us.
Absolutely.
Get you sorted.
Hey, been super.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bless you. We wish you all the best in your journey. We'd love to hear from you, comments, and check out our website and our Facebook. And ask those questions on our Facebook group, because we'd love to answer questions, don't we?
Yeah, we do. So just the Facebook group again is Cashflow-Freedom with Lesley Tao at the moment. So get your questions on there. It's better than private messaging us because we can't get around to answer everyone's questions individually. But it's better if you put it on the group and it catches our attention and more people get to benefit, really.
Yeah, more people benefiting from your questions, and that's really important to us to help you on your journey. Listen, we wish you all the best. God bless you.
Take care.
Bye-bye. How'd you do it? Hang on.